Good morning, everyone. Let's start with a powerful truth. You are the CEO of your time. It's your most valuable asset, and how you spend it shapes your future more than talent, luck, or even money ever will. Time is the one thing we can't get back once it's gone, yet too often we give it away freely, thoughtlessly, and without realizing the cost. The biggest myth about time is that we don't have enough of it. The truth is, we often don't have control over it because we haven't taken ownership of it. Just like a company can't succeed without someone in charge, your life can't run smoothly unless you take the lead. When you own your time, you stop reacting to life and start directing it. So, what does owning your time really mean? 1. Schedule your priorities. Don't prioritize your schedule. One of the most common mistakes people make is waking up and reacting to whatever comes their way. Emails, messages, meetings, distractions. They spend their day fighting fires instead of building empires. When you own your time, you don't let the day control you. You control the day. You don't just find time. For what matters, you make time. Ask yourself, what are my top 3 priorities today? Now block out time on your calendar specifically for those priorities. Treat that time as non-negotiable. No distractions, no interruptions, no guilt. That's how high-performers operate. 2. Do a time audit and find the leaks before you can master your time. You need to know where it's actually going. Imagine checking your bank account and realizing hundreds of dollars have disappeared each week without knowing where or why. That's how most people treat their time, spending without tracking the result. Time leaks. Take one full day and track everything you do hour by hour, or better yet, use a time tracking app for a week. What you discover may surprise you. Are you losing 30 minutes here scrolling on social media? An hour there jumping between emails and messages? Are you overcommitting to things that don't align with your goals? These small, invisible drains add up, and they're stealing your potential. The first step to bossing your time is plugging those leaks. 3. Treat time like money. Budget it wisely. Think of time as currency. Each morning, you wake up with a fresh deposit, 400 seconds in your time bank account. You can spend them however you want, but once they're gone, they're gone. Would you hand over your money to anyone who asked? Probably not. Yet we often give away our time just like that, responding to unnecessary emails, attending meetings without purpose, or saying yes to things out of guilt instead of intention. Start budgeting your time like a financial planner. Ask, what's my highest return on investment for this hour? Is this activity aligned with my goals? Am I doing this because it's important or just because it's easy? When you start assigning value to your hours, you begin spending them more intentionally. 4. Eliminate multitasking. Focus is your superpower. Multitasking may feel efficient, but studies consistently show it reduces productivity and increases stress. When you jump between tasks, your brain wastes time switching gears, time that adds up to hours over the course of a week. Instead of multitasking, try single tasks and giving your full, undivided attention to one thing at a time. Whether you're writing, studying, solving a problem, or just spending time with a loved one, be fully present. Focus is a superpower in a distracted world. Owning your time means owning your attention. 5. Design a morning routine. When the first hour, the way you start your day, sets the tone for everything that follows. Own your mornings and you own your day. Create a morning routine that energizes you, whether that means a workout, journaling, meditation, reading, or planning your day. Avoid jumping straight into emails or social media. That puts you in reactive mode, not creative mode. Remember, the first hour of your day should belong to you, not your inbox, your boss, or your phone. 6. You teach others how to respect your time. When you start respecting your own time, others will too. Stop saying yes to every request. Set boundaries. Put up your do not disturb sign, literally and metaphorically. Let people know when you're available and when you're not. Owning your time means defending it like it matters, because it does. Closing for key point 1 at the end of the day. Nobody else is responsible for how you spend your time. Not your boss, not your friends, not your phone. You. So step up, take charge, audit your time, plan it with intention, protect it with discipline, because when you own your time, you don't just get more done, you start building the life you actually want. That's how you time like a boss. Let me be brutally honest, not everything matters. One of the biggest myths that keeps people stuck is the belief that they have to do it all answer every email, attend every meeting, say yes to every invitation, chase every opportunity. But that's not how bosses operate. When you try to do everything, you end up doing nothing well. To truly time like a boss, you need to set ruthless priorities, not soft, wishy-washy goals, ruthless ones, because focus is not about saying yes. It's about saying no to everything that doesn't move the needle. 1. Understand that everything can't be important. Look at your to-do list. How many of those items are truly essential? How many actually get you closer to your goals, your vision, your ideal life? Let's face it, most to-do lists are just wish lists. We confuse being busy with being productive, but being busy is just a way to avoid making hard choices. Here's the truth: if everything is important, then nothing is. High performers don't do more, they do less, but better. They choose to be intentional with their energy. 2. Use the 80/20 rule. Do the vital few. This is where the Pareto principle comes in, also known as the 80/20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. That means only a few things you do each day actually drive meaningful results. The rest, it's just noise. So ask yourself, what are the 20% of tasks that generate 80% of my outcomes? Which clients, projects, or habits give me the biggest return? What am I doing out of obligation rather than impact? Once you know what really matters, you can start cutting the rest. And that's where the power is. 3. Try the Eisenhower matrix. Sort like a strategist. President Dwight D. Eisenhower once said, "What is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important." From that insight, the Eisenhower matrix was born, a simple but powerful way to sort your priorities. Important and urgent, do it now. Deadlines, emergencies, important but not urgent, schedule it. Planning, exercise, learning, urgent but not important, delegate it. Interruptions, minor requests, neither, delete it. Distractions, time wasters. Most people live in the urgent zone, constantly reacting to what's shouting the loudest. Bosses live in the important, but not urgent zone, where the real progress happens. 4. Set big 3 daily and weekly priorities every day. Write down your top 3 priorities, not 10, not 20. 3. These are the things that, if completed, will make the day a success, even if you get nothing else done. This kind of clarity simplifies everything. It reduces stress, helps you focus, and gives your time direction. Apply the same principle weekly. Set your big 3 for the week. If you hit them, you've won the week. Remember, if you don't decide what's important, the world will do it for you. 5. Eliminate, delegate, automate. Setting ruthless priorities doesn't just mean choosing what to do, it also means choosing what not to do. Ask these 3 questions regularly. Eliminate, what can I simply stop doing with 0 consequences? Delegate, what can someone else do 80% as well as I can? Automate, what can I systemize or let technology handle? Don't be a one-person army. Bosses build systems, they train, they trust, and they let go of tasks that don't need their energy. Your time is too valuable to be spent on low-impact work. 6. Prioritize you. Here's something we don't say enough. You are a priority too. It's easy to sacrifice self-care, sleep, and personal time in the name of being productive, but that's a trap. Burnout is not a badge of honor, it's a breakdown. High performers prioritize their well-being ruthlessly. They make time for sleep, for movement, for their mental and emotional health. Why? Because when you are at your best, everything else improves. Your work, your focus, your relationships. So if something restores your energy, fuels your creativity, or helps you show up stronger, it's not selfish. It's strategic. Closing for key point 2. When you learn to set ruthless priorities, you gain more than just productivity. You gain clarity, confidence, and control. You stop chasing every distraction. You stop living in other people's agendas. You stop drowning in overwhelm. Instead, you rise above it all, focused and intentional, doing fewer things, but doing them like a boss. So every day ask yourself, what's the most important thing I can do today? Then do that first, fully and without apology. That's how you time like a boss. You've heard the saying, failing to plan is planning to fail. That's especially true when it comes to your time. Because if your calendar doesn't reflect your priorities, your day will be hijacked by distractions, requests, and the never-ending chaos of other people's agendas. This is where one of the most powerful time strategies comes into play: time blocking. Think of time blocking as the GPS for your day. Instead of wandering aimlessly through tasks, you assign every minute of your day a destination. You block time on your calendar with purpose, whether for deep work, creative focus, family, rest, or even relaxation. This strategy isn't just for CEO and productivity geeks. It's for anyone who wants to go from overwhelmed to in control. When done right, time blocking gives you clarity, control, and momentum. Let's break down how to block your time like a true calendar ninja. 1. Design your ideal day before you start dragging events into your calendar. Stop and ask, what does my ideal day look like? An ideal day isn't about packing every hour with activity. It's about creating balance between work and rest, between focus and flexibility. Begin by asking, when do I have the most energy and creativity? What routines help me stay grounded? What are my daily non-negotiables like workouts, meals, or family time? Now start building a simple structure around those answers. For example, mornings for deep creative work, midday for collaboration or meetings, afternoons for admin or lighter tasks, evenings for personal time, hobbies, or reflection. Having a basic framework allows you to plug tasks into the right time slots instead of cramming them into every open moment. 2. Batch similar tasks together. One of the biggest productivity killers is task switching. Jumping between unrelated activities, writing an email, then joining a Zoom call, then designing a report, forces your brain to shift focus constantly. It's exhausting and inefficient. Calendar ninjas fight this with task batching. They group similar tasks together and block time to handle them in one go. Example, emails and messages, 30 minutes mid-morning, 30 minutes end of day creative work, 9:00-11:00 a.m. Uninterrupted block meetings, all scheduled back in the afternoon. Admin, Friday mornings only. When you batch tasks, you protect your brain's rhythm. You stay in flow longer and finish things faster. 3. Block for deep work and think time. In today's distracted world, deep work is a superpower. This is the kind of work that moves the needle: writing, strategizing, coding, planning, problem solving. But deep work doesn't just happen. You have to defend it with time blocks, at least 60 to 90 minutes long, with zero distractions, no meetings, no Slack, no multitasking. Label this time on your calendar clearly. Treat it like a critical meeting with yourself. And don't forget to block time for thinking. Not every hour needs to be filled with action. Bosses give themselves space to reflect, strategize, and breathe. That's where the breakthroughs happen. 4. Schedule the invisible stuff too. Most people only put events and meetings on their calendar, but what about lunch, commute breaks, reading, brainstorming, wind down time? If you don't block it, you forget it, or you double book over it. A true calendar ninja blocks everything. They even schedule white space, buffer time between meetings, margin for emergencies, or 15-minute reset breaks. These small blocks help you transition and reset rather than crash and burn. 5. Protect the blocks like a boss. Creating time blocks is easy. Protecting them is where the real battle lies. You will get interrupted. Life will throw curveballs. But the difference between average people and high performers is this: the high performers respect their schedule. Here's how. Say no to last-minute requests that don't align with your priorities. Turn off notifications during focus blocks. Use Do Not Disturb or block your calendar so others can't book over it. If a block is interrupted, reschedule it immediately. Don't delete it. Your calendar is your battlefield. Guard it like it matters, because it does. 6. Leave room for life. You're not a robot. Life happens. Traffic, delays, emergencies, energy dips. A ninja calendar includes flex time, buffers between big tasks or overflow space at the end of the day. Leave 30-60 minutes daily as flex time for the unexpected. It's your margin for error and your cushion for peace of mind. Also, don't forget to schedule joy, coffee with a friend, a walk, a nap, a laugh. If it's not on the calendar, it probably won't happen. There's a powerful 2-letter word that separates the overwhelmed from the in control. It's the word no. We often think that saying yes makes us helpful, polite, or ambitious, but in reality, every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you're saying no to something that does. Saying no isn't rude, it's responsible, it's not rejection, it's redirection. If you want a time like a boss, you need to master the art of saying no with clarity, confidence, and zero guilt. 1. Understand that every yes has a cost. Most people don't realize that time is a finite resource. When you say yes to something, you're borrowing time from something else, whether that's your family, your health, your rest, or your deep work. If someone asked you for $100, you'd pause to think, can I afford this? But when someone asks for your time, most people say yes without hesitation. That's why one of the most empowering shifts you can make is this. Start treating your time like your money. Before you say yes, ask, what's the opportunity cost? Does this align with my goals? Am I saying yes out of guilt or fear? A boss knows that every yes should be intentional, not automatic. 2. You can do anything, but not everything. There's no shortage of opportunities, projects, or requests. But there is a limit to your bandwidth. Time is a zero-sum game. When you add something, something else gets pushed out. Trying to do everything leads to burnout, mediocrity, regret. Great leaders, creatives, and performers understand this. They don't say yes to every opportunity. They say yes to the right opportunities. Steve Jobs famously said, people think focus means saying yes to the thing you've got to focus on, but that's not what it means. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas. Saying no to good allows you to say yes to great. 3. Learn the language of no. Saying no doesn't have to be rude. It's a skill, and like any skill, it gets easier with practice. Here are a few ways to say no gracefully but firmly. The direct no, thanks for thinking of me, but I won't be able to commit right now. The delayed response, let me check my calendar and get back to you. Buy time to decide. The priority pass, I'm focusing on X priority right now, so I need to pass on this. The redirect, I can't do this, but here's someone who might be able to help. The boundary reminder, I don't take meetings during that time so I can stay focused. Notice that none of these are aggressive. They are respectful, clear, and final. You're not being difficult. You're protecting your time. 4. Set boundaries without apology. Saying no is really about boundaries, and boundaries are how you protect your time, energy, and focus. A boundary isn't a wall, it's a gate, and you control what gets through. Here are a few boundaries you might need to set. No checking emails after 7 p.m. No meetings before 10 a.m. so you can focus. No social events that drain you without adding value. No working weekends unless it's planned and strategic. You don't need to explain every boundary. You don't need to justify yourself. A simple "that doesn't work for me" is enough. Boundaries aren't selfish. They are essential. 5. Overcome the fear of disappointing others. Let's be real. Saying no feels hard because we fear disappointing people. We don't want to seem lazy, selfish, or unhelpful, but here's the truth. People who respect you will respect your no, and the ones who don't respect your boundaries, they're the very reason you need them. You're not responsible for everyone's feelings. You are responsible for your time, your health, and your growth. Don't trade long-term success for short-term comfort. Bosses understand that respect is earned through consistency, not compliance. 6. Say yes to the right things. Saying no isn't about negativity. It's about making room for the right yes. When you say no to distractions, you say yes to deep work. When you say no to time wasting meetings, you say yes to progress. When you say no to overcommitment, you say yes to mental peace. The more intentional you are with your no, the more powerful your yes becomes. That's how you take back control of your time. Closing for key point 4, at the end of the day, you don't need to be more available. You need to be more intentional. The people who truly master time aren't the ones who do the most. They're the ones who are most selective. So remember, every yes is a trade, every no is a boundary, and every minute you save is a minute you can invest in what matters most. Want a time like a boss? Start by saying no with confidence, clarity, and purpose. Let's be honest, technology is both a blessing and a curse. We live in an age where we have unlimited tools, apps, and digital shortcuts at our fingertips. We can automate, optimize, and streamline like never before. But here's the twist. The very tools designed to save us time often end up stealing it. Emails, notifications, social media, news alerts, they all fight for our attention every minute of every day. The average person touches their phone over 500 times a day, and the average knowledge worker spends almost 3 hours a day just checking emails. That's not time management, that's time leakage. If you want to time like a boss, you need to flip the script. You need to stop letting tech manage you and start managing tech like the tool it's meant to be. 1. Treat your phone like a power tool, not a toy. Your phone can be your greatest ally or your biggest time thief. The problem is, most of us treat it like a toy. It's our entertainment hub, our distraction device, our digital escape hatch. But a boss doesn't use tools for distraction, they use them for precision. Here's how to take control. Turn off non-essential notifications. If it doesn't need your immediate attention, it shouldn't buzz. Use focus mode or do not disturb during work blocks. Keep distracting apps like Instagram or TikTok off your home screen, or better yet, uninstall them during high focus seasons. Set scheduled phone breaks rather than checking impulsively. Your phone isn't the enemy, but like any powerful tool, it needs boundaries. 2. Audit your digital habits. Bosses audit their money to avoid financial waste. You need to audit your digital habits to avoid time waste. Try this for 1 week. Track how much time you spend on your phone, in your inbox, or scrolling apps. Use tools like Screen Time, iOS Digital Wellbeing, Android Rescue Time, or Toggle for desktop time. Tracking, you might be shocked by what you find. Hours lost in passive scrolling, email rabbit holes, multitasking gone wild. Once you see the patterns, you can fix them. Don't judge yourself. Just get curious. Awareness is the first step to mastery. 3. Use the right tools for the right jobs. Tech is incredibly powerful if you use it with purpose. Here are some high-impact tools you can use to save time, automate tasks, and stay on top of your game. Time management apps: Google Calendar, Notion, Todoist, Sunsama. Use them to plan, block, and visualize your priorities. Focus tools: Forest, Freedom, Cold Turkey. These block distractions and keep you in flow. Automation tools: Zapier, Ift, Make. Calm. Automate repetitive tasks like file uploads, emails, or notifications. Note-taking and idea capture: Evernote, Apple Notes, Obsidian. Organize your thoughts before they slip away. Bosses don't let technology own their day. They design their digital systems to serve their goals. 4. Don't mistake activity for progress. Just because you're clicking, swiping, and typing doesn't mean you're being productive. We often confuse digital activity with real results. You might answer 50 emails, attend 5 Zoom calls, and still end the day wondering what you actually accomplished. Tech creates the illusion of productivity, but real productivity means outcomes, not activity. Ask yourself daily, did I move a major task forward? Did I spend time on meaningful work, or just responding to others? Did I use my tools to create value, or did they just keep me busy? Don't get caught in the trap of digital busyness. Results are what matter. 5. Schedule offline time. Here's a secret high performers swear by: deliberate digital disconnection. That means setting clear windows when you're offline on purpose. No emails, no pings, no browsing. Just you and your thoughts, your work, or your people. Some ideas: 1 tech-free hour after you wake up, no screens during meals or family time, a full digital sunset. At least 30 minutes before bed, a weekend digital detox once a month. These breaks recharge your mind, improve your focus, and reconnect you to the real world. The one beyond your screen. You can't time like a boss if you're always on call for the world. 6. Be the boss of your inbox. Email is one of the sneakiest tech time sucks. It's not just about quantity, it's the constant interruption that kills your focus. Here's how to boss your inbox. Check email at set times, 2 or 3 times a day. Not every 5 minutes. Unsubscribe ruthlessly. Use tools like Unroll Me to clean house. Use folders, filters, and labels to triage quickly. Create templates for common replies and save tons of time. Better yet, ask yourself this: does this conversation even need to happen by email? Sometimes a 5-minute call replaces 20 back and forths. Closing for key. Point 5. Technology is powerful, but power without direction leads to chaos. You don't need to use every app. You don't need to be constantly connected. You don't need to be available 24/7 to be successful. In fact, the opposite is true. Bosses don't let tech dictate their day. They use it with precision, discipline, and purpose. So take back your time, audit your digital life, build smart systems, and most of all, remember, technology should serve you, not the other way around. That's how you time like a boss. We live in a world that glorifies hustle, grind, and 24/7 productivity. You hear it all the time. Sleep when you're dead. Winners work while others sleep. No days off. But here's the truth that most people miss. Rest is not a reward, it's a requirement. And if you want to time like a boss, you have to stop seeing rest as wasted time and start treating it as an investment in your performance, focus, creativity, and resilience. Because real bosses don't burn out. They recover, they recharge, and they know that rest is revenue. 1. The myth of endless hustle. Let's break this myth right now. Working longer does not mean working smarter. In fact, study after study shows that productivity doesn't increase past 40-50 hours a week. After that, your output actually declines. Think about that. If you're constantly grinding without rest, you're not a high performer. You're an exhausted one. You're trading short-term action for long-term burnout. Top athletes rest between training. Musicians rest between performances. Machines need to cool down. Why should you be any different? 2. Rest boosts focus and creativity. When you're well rested, your brain works better. You can think clearer, solve problems faster, and make sharper decisions. Rest fuels your focus, your ability to stay on task without drifting or reaching for distractions. Creativity, your ability to generate new ideas, solve challenges, and innovate. Emotional control, you're calmer, more patient, and more grounded. The big breakthroughs in business, science, and art don't happen in burnout mode. They happen in moments of calm, on walks, in the shower, on vacation. Bosses know that rest isn't the opposite of work. It's the support system for great work. 3. Build rest into your daily rhythm. Don't just rest when you crash. Schedule rest on purpose. Here's how. Take short breaks every 60-90 minutes during deep work. Even 5-10 minutes of standing, walking, or breathing refreshes your brain. Use the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes work, 5 minutes break. To keep energy consistent, step outside. Sunlight and fresh air reset your mind faster than caffeine. After intense meetings or tasks, block a few minutes of silence to reset before diving into the next. Daily rest keeps your mind from spiraling into fatigue and burnout. It's not optional. It's part of the plan. 4. Prioritize sleep like your career depends on it, because it does. Sleep is the most powerful rest tool you have. It's free, it's natural, and it fuels everything. Your mood, memory, metabolism, and decision making. Yet millions of people treat sleep like an inconvenience. But here's what the science says. Getting less than 6 hours of sleep can reduce productivity by up to 40%. Sleep-deprived people make more mistakes, take longer to complete tasks, and are more emotionally reactive. Just one bad night of sleep reduces your ability to focus as much as being legally drunk. If you want to perform like a boss, you've got to sleep like one. Tips for quality sleep. Keep a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Avoid screens 30-60 minutes before bed. Create a wind-down routine. Dim lights, stretch, read, or journal. Keep your room cool, quiet, and dark. Sleep isn't lazy, it's elite strategy. 5. Schedule downtime without guilt. Your calendar shouldn't be filled with just work blocks. It should include rest days, family time, fun, hobbies, nature, laughter, stillness. Why? Because those moments restore you. They fill your tank so you can show up with energy, clarity, and confidence when it matters most. If you wait until you have time to rest, you'll never do it. But if you make time, your life starts to change. Here's a boss mindset shift. Rest is productive because it restores your ability to do everything else better. 6. Protect your energy like $1 million asset. Think of your energy like a bank account. Every decision, meeting, distraction, or emotional reaction is a withdrawal. Rest is your deposit. If you never deposit, you go bankrupt. To protect your energy, say no to things that drain you unnecessarily. Choose environments that support your peace. Take regular white space in your week to reflect and recharge. Don't feel guilty for taking breaks. Feel grateful you can. High achievers don't run on empty. They schedule recovery like they schedule results. Closing for key point 6. Here's the bottom line. If you don't rest, your body will force you to, through fatigue, through illness, through burnout. But when you rest before you need to, you reclaim your power. You come back sharper, stronger, smarter. Bosses don't wait until they crash. They recover like champions. They rest with purpose. They know their value and they protect their energy. So don't just grind harder, rest smarter. Rest like it's revenue, because your greatest asset is you. That's how you time like a boss.